You grew up watching your parents stress about money, bill due dates, overdraft fees, the way the vibe in the house changed when rent was coming up, and you told yourself, when I make my own money, it's going to be different. But here's what nobody tells you. The very habits that helped you survive growing up broke are the exact same habits quietly sabotaging you now that you have money. And the wildest part? People who grew up comfortable don't even have to think about this. It's not because they're smarter, it's because of what money meant to them growing up versus what it meant to you. I'm going to walk you through the most common money mistakes people from low-income backgrounds make, not to shame anyone, but because once you see the psychological reason why you do them, you can actually stop. There's one on this list that almost nobody talks about, and it's probably the one doing the most damage to your financial future right now. Let's get into it. Mistake number 1. Spending money the second you get it. If you grew up without financial stability, your nervous system learned something very early. Money doesn't stay. It comes in, and something immediately takes it. A bill, an emergency, someone who needs help. So your brain adapted. It learned to spend fast. Because holding on to money felt like a waste of time, it was going to disappear anyway. This is called scarcity spending, and it's not a character flaw. It was a rational response to your environment. But now you're older, you have income, and your brain is still running that same old program. Paycheck hits, and suddenly you feel this almost physical urge to move it, buy something. Treat yourself, send it somewhere, because sitting on money still feels unsafe, even when it's not. People who grew up comfortable don't have this wiring. They saw money sit in accounts. They watched it grow. To them, holding money feels normal. To you, it can feel almost wrong. The fix isn't willpower, it's automation. Set up an automatic transfer to savings on payday before your brain even knows the money arrived. You're not fighting the urge. You're just changing when your brain gets involved. Mistake number 2. Treating every purchase like it might be your last chance. This one sounds irrational, but it makes complete sense when you understand where it comes from. When you grew up without much, things were temporary. You couldn't always get what you wanted when you wanted it. So when the opportunity did come, you took it. You grabbed it, because you didn't know when the next chance would come. That's why so many people from low-income backgrounds struggle with impulse buying, not because they're irresponsible, but because their brain is still operating in a world where the window closes fast. A sale feels urgent. A product you want feels like now or never. A night out feels like something you have to take because who knows what next month looks like. Comfortable people grow up knowing the window doesn't always close. They grew up with options. "We'll get it later" was a real sentence in their house and later actually came. One simple reframe. When you feel that urgency to buy something, ask yourself, is this actually limited? Or does my brain just feel like it is? Most of the time, it'll still be there tomorrow. And if it's not, something else will be. Mistake number 3. Avoiding looking at your bank account. This one is huge and almost never talked about. A lot of people who grew up broke develop what psychologists call financial avoidance. They don't check their balance. They don't open the app. They don't look at the statement. Not because they don't care, but because looking was painful for so long that the brain started associating the app, the statement, the number with anxiety, shame, dread. When you grew up checking the balance and always seeing bad news, your brain learned, don't look. It hurts, but now you're avoiding it even when the number might actually be okay. And avoidance keeps you stuck. You can't manage what you refuse to see. People who grew up with money don't have this emotional charge around the number. It's just data to them. But for you, it might carry years of emotional weight. Start small. You don't have to build a budget spreadsheet tomorrow. Just commit to looking at your account once a day for 2 weeks. That's it. You're retraining your nervous system to understand that the number is just information, not a verdict on your worth. Mistake number 4. Overhelping everyone around you. All right, this is the one I said almost nobody talks about. and it's the one that can silently wreck your finances while you feel like you're doing the right thing. When you're the person who made it in your circle, you feel the weight of that. Your cousin needs a loan. Your mom needs help with a bill. Your friend is in a tough spot, and you've been in that tough spot, so you know how it feels. And you give. There's nothing wrong with generosity, but a lot of people from low-income backgrounds end up becoming the financial safety net for their entire family and draining their own future to do it. It's called the crabs in a bucket effect, but honestly, that framing is too harsh because most of the time, nobody is pulling you down on purpose. They just need help, and you happen to be the one who can give it. People who grew up comfortable don't face this the same way. Their family usually has more resources distributed across more people. They're not the single load-bearing wall. This isn't about cutting people off. It's about recognizing that you cannot pour from an empty account. You need to build your financial floor first. An emergency fund, retirement contributions, basic stability before you start shoring up everyone else's ceiling. It's not selfish. It's math. Mistake number 5. Avoiding anything that sounds like a rich person thing. Investing, index funds, net worth, Roth IRA. A lot of people from low-income backgrounds check out the second this language comes up, not because they're not intelligent, but because this vocabulary was never part of their world. It feels foreign. It feels like it's for other people. And on top of that, there's sometimes distrust. Generational distrust of banks, of markets, of systems that historically didn't work in your favor or your family's favor. That's not paranoia. That's pattern recognition based on real history. But here's the hard truth. Not investing is also a financial decision, and it's a very expensive one. Every year you sit out of the market, you're not just staying neutral, you're falling behind people who are in it, compounding, growing. You don't have to understand everything. You don't have to trust the system completely. You just have to start somewhere small, even $10 a month, and learn as you go. The internet has completely leveled the access gap on financial education. The knowledge is free. The only remaining cost is the discomfort of engaging with something that feels like it wasn't made for you. It was. Use it. Here's the thing I want you to take away from all of this. None of these mistakes are about being bad with money. Every single one of them has a psychological root that makes complete sense given where you came from. Scarcity spending, urgency buying, financial avoidance, overgiving, checking out of the investing conversation. These aren't personality flaws. They're adaptations. But adaptations that helped you survive in one environment can hold you back in a different one. You're in a different environment now, or you're working toward it. And awareness is the first tool. Once you can see the pattern, you can start interrupting it one decision at a time. If this hit home for you, there's a lot more where this came from. The comment section is a good place to start. Drop which one of these you recognize in yourself. You'd be surprised how many people are working through the exact same thing,